Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. It's my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week I painted 10, 11 more Battltech miniatures and 8 models from the new Warhammer Underworld's DIRECHASM starter set, which is the Lumineth of Hysh elves and some, I guess, like Slaaneshi disciples who are super cool looking. And then got some more work done on my Battltech clan stuff, my last 3 Battltech miniatures. You can tell that, I think you guys can probably, when you're watching, tell when I get excited about something and then overdo it for a little bit because it shows up every week for a little while. That was Battltech. These are the last 3 Battltech miniatures from the new plastic range that I haven't painted and to get done. There's 2 that exist, I guess, and maybe a couple variants from the Kickstarter that I don't have. There's an Urban Mech and a Griffin from the beginner box set, and I think the Urban Mech was like a Kickstarter backer reward. I think there's maybe a couple of like arm variations for some special characters. But other than that, I've got all the patterns of mech that have been done in the new plastics by Catalyst painted, which I'm pretty pumped about. I played a bunch more games, got lots of stuff wrong, so get excited. It's our usual learning curve of like 3 to 5 games before we get everything nailed down. I also had a lot of fun playing that game that you saw this week of Blood Bowl, so I'm going to dust off and, well, not dust off, but unpack and start putting together my Middenheim Marauders, or Middenheim Maulers, sorry, my Old World Alliance team. So many W's in that, oh my god. Mostly because I'm really pumped to paint the halflings. I've literally painted this team already because the same miniatures come in Blitz Bowl. So if you have a copy of Blitz Bowl, minus the halflings and an ogre, you effectively have an Old World Alliance team already. But I was really pumped to paint those halflings. The halfling Blood Bowl miniatures are so cool, and you get 3 of them in the starter set. So I've got one I can use as like some kind of maybe halfling chef or something. Maybe I can convert it up. I got some new stuff for Riot Quest. I got Doc Stygius and Scythe, who I'm really pumped about, to paint up as well this week. And what else am I working on? Some stuff at home. I'm working on more stuff for Warcaster, which I'm pretty pumped for too. So let's take a look at what got done and what is coming up. And so first thing first, here is DIRECHASM all painted up. So what have I painted? Well, Miari's Purifiers are the Lumineth warband, led by a mage here, Miari, with a cool owl. And these are some new Lumineth units that you can also use in Age of Sigmar, of course, that come in this ultimate competition miniature game. I painted these up with a combination of the contrast system, so using some stuff like, I think it was Gryph-Charger Grey, and Skeleton Horde for the base coats on these, just because they're like a light color, and then blending it up through a bunch of like the Army Painter Mega Paint Set paints. I used Mummy Wraps, I think, for the armor plates, Ultramarines blue for the cloaks and stuff like that, and Mummy Wraps, I know it wasn't Mummy Wraps, it was Skeleton Bone, I think, for the armor plates, and then Mummy Wraps was actually what I used for the clothing and stuff, after I used Apothecary White on a base coat. It's funny, I really like these bases, but they're really easy to do. I base coated them gray, dry brushed a lighter gray, and then I just thinned down and washed in a bit of the rust orange from Army Painter, mixed with a little bit of leather brown, and gave that a nice sort of like stipple down into the recesses, and that gave that cool kind of like dirt wash off the rocks. I'm really happy with that finish. The models themselves are pretty great. Like if you just wanted to make like a cool elf warband, you have a mage, a big like paladin with a hammer. You have a sword master, which I think was awesome. There's actually like and you can see the Tower of Hoth there. So like the Lore Master's Tower in the background. And you have an archer. So some very cool like classic elf look. They don't, except for the hammer dude, they don't take too much from the new Lumineth style. They actually look really high elfy. And I think these would be great in even like Mordheim. They really look cool. So I'm super happy with them. And then I finished up the Dread Pageant, which is the Chaos Warband, and they are classic GW Chaos. I think this is probably one of my favorite Chaos Champion miniatures of all time. This is Vlasic, who's Vasilak, the Gifted, who is the Chaos Champion, and I love that like he's all scarified, like his legs and stuff are all like carved with runes, and all of his stuff is hanging off his own flesh. So he has these like piercings, like his little cape there is actually like pierced into him, which is pretty cool. These are done with just purely the paints from the Mega Paint set from Army Painter. I used the bright gold for all the armor, and then I think it was the medium tone or soft tone washed over top of it, and then gunmetal for the metallics, highlighted up through silver. I used, I think it was that Scabbard or Crusted Gore or something like that for the cloaks with the dark tone on it. or the soft tone. And then it's dark stone for all the black, all the leather and stuff like that, washed with dark tone. So it's a nice simple paint scheme, but man, it really pops. And you get just a really cool selection. So you get an archer. This is, what's his name? Hadzu. And then Glizette, who's like the dancing sort of like disciple with their cool big spear. Really, really cool. And they're all wearing like the harem pants, because of course they are, because it's Slaanesh. And then you get this giant like Chaos Beastman, this mutant Beastman, which actually make a really cool possessed in Mordheim. And it's called, what is it? Slake Slash. And it's like basically a giant, huge Beastman that's like half turning into a Seeker already. And it's got like the cool like scars and stuff in the back. It's all branded. So really happy with these. They all start off just with some Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2-in-1 black primer. And then I dry brushed them all with that dark stone that I use for the leather wraps, and just use that as a base coat, and then blended everything up from there. So like adding wash of that scab red, doing all the metallics, giving it some dark tone wash and stuff. And I used the same, just a slightly lighter, just use the leather wraps, washed into the stone, and then everything else I wanted to have like a ashy kind of like dust. So I left it with the gray dry brushes that I did over top of it. And I'm pumped about these, man. It's 2 cool warbands. I mean, you'll see the GMG review today of DIRECHASM. I haven't played, I don't think really anybody's played Underworlds that much since last year, because obviously this is a competitive miniature game designed for like large tournaments and groups of people getting together, and that's since the world fell apart, that's not something that's happening super often. In fact, yesterday I think they announced that Adepticon 2021 is also canceled. So 2 Adepticons in a row now canceled, and that means that I think the last time I played a competitive like sit-down tournament of Underworlds was October 2019. And that would have been at HalCon. I played in the tournament there, and it was super fun. And I actually really miss playing Underworlds because it's a great game. But yeah, check out my review. We'll go through the new warbands and do like some little like mock like setups and stuff to just get an idea of like what these warbands are going to play like. But obviously it's a game that requires crowds, and that's something that's not happening in the last little while. But I'm pumped to have played them, or painted them rather. And I'll be using these probably in my Slaves of Darkness army. And then I'm not sure what I'll use these for. Maybe I'll loan them to Owen. He can try them out with his Lumineth. And here's my last, oh geez, this is 11 out of 14 minis for Battltech that I had unpainted. And again, I promise this is for the next like foreseeable future. The painting of Battltech all the time is maybe not until next week. I got 3 more to paint, but the painting all Battltech all the time is out of my system. Maybe I'll paint some terrain for it. I don't know. I'm trying to get Owen his own armies, and then that way we can just play some games and settle in and try different mixing and matching of things. But I painted out some Clan Wolf Omnimax. This is an Ice Ferret and I don't know what the guy in the back's called. And then I've got a bunch of clan armor, so some more elementals, battle armor, and I did one as like a command stand, because obviously you can have different skill ratings, so some more infantry battle armor to go and fight and kill mechs with the clan. They're pretty cool. Clan Wolf has some like alternate color schemes, and you guys voted for me to do the rest of the stars in that like bisected beige and gray camo, and I'm really happy with it. So I did that and kind of followed along with the clan elementals. Just using kind of a similar sort of like color palette. And then I decided to do the rest of my Inner Sphere mechs as the Grey Death Legion, because you guys like the Donegal Guards, but I've done half and half now. So these are the rest of the mechs from the Game of Armored Combat box set. There's 2 old like classic Battletech boxes that also have Alpha Strike cards in them. The beginner box, which I don't have, which is the one mini I haven't painted yet, which is the Griffin. That isn't like the Kickstarter guy, which is the Omnimac. This is a Wolverine that I finished up in Grey Death Legion colors, which is, again, I used Darkstone as a base coat from the Army Painter Mega Paint sets. I dry brushed it up through Ash Gray, and then Ash Gray as a base coat, and then a bit of lighter Ash Gray for the sort of like choppy, whatchamacallit, like splinter camo. That's all over them. And then I painted up a Locust, which is a cool little recon mech. Hand painted all the little skulls and stuff too. You used gunmetal for all the metallics and dark tone to wash them, and then just had them with a little bit of silver. The gemstoning on the lens or the cockpits and stuff was all done with, I think that's the same, is it called Crusted Sore maybe? Or like, I think it's supposed to be scab red. Blended up through like a fiery orange with little dots of white and stuff. And then there's a Commando, which is another sort of recon mech, lightly armored, but good at going and looking at things and tagging them, pushing buttons. And then probably my favorite Inner Sphere mech now, having painted it, like just design, this is the Thunderbolt. And it's just a really cool, like, rocket pod, bunch of different little guns, Inner Sphere mech. I'm really happy with it. So that's the rest of the, except until I get the Griffin, that's all the Inner Sphere mechs I have painted. And let's see what's coming up. So we've got a Mad Dog, a Gargoyle, and a Loki to paint up. You can see I've already got the base coats down on them, because a lot of times the longest part of painting these is waiting for all the different washers and stuff I use to dry. So I just tend to use them in batches. These are all primed with that same Painter's Touch 2-in-1 paint and primer gray. I primed over the whatchamacallit, the Gray Seer primer, and then dry brushed with a lighter gray, ash gray from the Army Painter set, and this was washed with Skeleton Bone. Or Skeleton Horde, sorry, from the contrast paint sets. I like to do the bases at the same time just because it's messy, because it's all dry brushing. So I put down the Astrogranite, dry brushed it all once it was dry, same time as I did the rest of the mechs, and then washed it with a bit of that emerald green, and that gives you that kind of nice, like, mossy mountain terrain thing that's on all my other painted stuff. And these are just kind of in the queue, like they're gonna get ready to get painted. So I'm pumped. I like these models, and again, these are the paint robots has been like launching animals put me in the mood to paint robots, and these are really satisfying because you can get a lot of them done really fast. I was just getting ready to clean these two Rangers for the Ranger Shadowdeep. I'm going to be going through the most recent expansion, and these are my two characters. They need names though. I'm not sure who's going to be the actual Ranger. I think the guy with the pipe is going to be the actual Ranger. He's my favorite, I think. Or is the one with the beard? Or do they both have beards? No, let's do Beardo. He'll be the Ranger, and this will be his friend slash trainee apprentice maybe. But they need names, and so give me some names to name these guys, or some suggestions what we should name them. I got Scythe and Stygius for Riot Quest. Scythe is a cool, like, Swift Hunter elf, one of the bad icy elves. What are they called? The ones that are part of the Everblight. I can't remember what they're called right now. But neat mini. And then this is Doc Stygius, who's like this cool, like, weird clockwork robot man. I can't remember the Tharn, maybe? Not the Tharn. Tharn are from the Circle of Ouroboros. What are they called? These are the ones that use the abominations in War Machine. It's been a minute since I played War Machine, so I actually can't remember what they're called. But really cool mini, and it's got, like, multiple arms and stuff, and big, like, gloves. So I'm gonna do them all in, like, lab coat white, I think, with just, like, blood splatter and stuff all over them. But I'm really enjoying playing Riot Quest. I think it's probably one of the most underrated games this year. It's a really fun pick up and play game, and I'm excited to paint more stuff for it. Mike's actually passed me now for painting. He's got 20 models to my 19, so I need to catch up. And then it's my Old World Alliance, my Middenheim Maulers, mostly because I really want to paint these awesome halfling miniatures. 3 different ones. You get a bunch of different heads. So there's 5 different heads on here, and then all kinds of cool little, like, extras. They got little bits of food. You can see there's like a little. Is that a piglet? What is that? Little mouse or something? He's holding like a squirrel. Some kind of something. Oh my god, they're so cute. I'm stoked to paint 2 of them because you get 2 in your team. I got my Ogre ready to rock and roll painting, and then it's a sprue of dwarves and a sprue of humans to round out the team. So you go this week, another 19 miniatures painted and lots more projects on the books and ready to rock and roll. So if you enjoyed that, we'll see you for more on the paint table next week. See what I got done. Until then, I'm Ash. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Desperate Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.